Hi, I'm Brittany Braden. Thank you so much for choosing to move with me. Today's class will look a little unconventional. We're going to stay in a flow style class, but we're going to add some weight to some of the mobility exercises. And we're not using weight to push deeper range of motion or stretch, rather, promote acquisition of strength and control and muscular support in those positions. So I just want you to grab a lightweight. I have a 15-pound kettlebell. You can grab something much, much lighter than that. You can grab a kettlebell, a dumbbell, anything like that will do, and a yoga block. So once you have your props, let's get going. We're going to set ourselves up. So you're going to sit down, take the block behind you on the middle height, and then I want you to take whatever weight you're using to the left side so it's there when we need it. Bring the block so that the edge of the block is right at the base of your shoulder blade. Feet are a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Interlace the hands behind the back of your head. When you're doing this exercise, I want you to think about keeping your chin slightly in. So take an inhale at the top. On the exhale, drape over top of the block, keeping your chin in as you lower down, but think about the crown of the head going to the wall rather than the crown of the head dumping to the floor. And then slowly roll yourself up. So just finding some extension when you drape over top of the block. You're going to have a slight tuck of the pelvis, keeping the chin in. And I want you to take your time with this one. So pay attention to how it feels for the spine. Notice if there's any sticky areas. And if there is, you can stay there a little bit longer before you move out of that spot. You can play around with where the block is positioned on the back and bring it a little bit higher up if you'd like. Let's do 2 more. Next time you come up, roll over to your left side. Take the block to the right of you on the lowest height and lower down to your back. So before I go any further, I like to find neutral just so you can really experience the sensation. Feet mat distance, knees together, and just close your eyes and notice how your body feels after that. Grabbing the weight into your left hand, straighten your right leg on the floor. Take your left arm straight up to the ceiling, so knuckles to sky. Roll over to your right hip, and as you roll to your right hip, you're going to place your left knee on the block. Tuck your right arm underneath the ear like a pillow, and you want to lock your arm out. So keep your arm nice and straight as you internally rotate, so roll your shoulder in a little bit or a lot, depends on how much range of motion you have in that, and then externally rotate. Think knuckles to sky, arm stays locked out, try not to bend the elbow. Just moving through internal and external rotation at the shoulder. Maybe a few more. Last round. Keeping your arms straight up, we're just going to adjust the legs. You might have to come out of it to reset if you need. You're going to bring the block between your knees. Legs are in a 90-degree angle. Bring your head to the floor, open your chest to the ceiling, bend your elbow, keep the knuckle to the ceiling, tap your left elbow to the floor, and then on the exhale, drive your left arm back up to the ceiling. And then turn your chest to face the right and really try to punch your left arm up. So you'll do that again, bend the elbow, open up to the chest, hug into the block so there's no movement through your pelvis. Tap the elbow down, and then use your exhale to take your left arm back up, stacking the shoulder, or stacking the wrist over top of the shoulder. I love this one. This one creates a lot of space through the rib cage for me. Opens up the chest. One more. And obviously gets into the shoulder. Very gently coming out of that, set the weight off to the side. Place the block off to the side, and we'll set up for the other side. So shake that out. Place the block on the lowest height to the left. Move your weight to the other side, depending on how heavy it is. Make sure you're not passing the weight over top of your face. Send your left leg out. Straighten your right arm up to the ceiling. Then as you roll to your left hip, tuck your left arm underneath the ear like a pillow and bring your right knee onto the block. Now, if you don't have a block, you're going to set your knee down on the floor. So keeping the arm straight, move through internal and external rotation at the shoulder. And doing stuff like this becomes very obvious if you have any discrepancies between the sides. Just something to be mindful of. Our sides are not the same. Two more. And then adjust yourself into the 90-degree angle with the block between the thighs. Bring your head to the floor as you inhale. Open up. Keep your knuckle to the ceiling. Tap your elbow down on the floor. And then exhale. Send your arm back up and punch up. So you'll do that again. Keep hugging to the block. You can also take your left hand to the outside of the right leg to find a little assist there. And then drive it up. Work with the breath. Front ribs in and down. Last one. And very gently coming out of that. And then hug both knees into your chest. Do some circles with the hips. So bring your knees into center, take your knees out to the side, forwards and in, big circles. And go in the other direction. And knees into the chest. Lift your chest to the thighs, round through the spine, and rock and roll up and down the spine. So do about 3. Next time you come up, sweep the legs around, make your way into a tabletop. Hands right underneath the shoulders, knees hip distance apart. Cat-cow. Pull your chest forward, send the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Flex through the spine, keep the flex, send your hips back into a hovering child's pose. Rolling forwards. Pull your chest through, send the tailbone up. Round, keep the round as you send your hips all the way back. One more like that. Bring your chest through, tailbone up. Round, take it back. You can take your knees nice and wide or bring your knees closer together. Shift your hips side to side. Next time you take your hips to the right, leave them there, walk your hands over to the left. Placing your right hand on top of the left hand, breathe in the right side of the rib cage. Walk your hands over to the right. Place your left hand on top of the right hand and send your hips over to the left. Bring your hands to center. Rolling up through the spine so you're sitting on the heels, lift your chest up. Roll your shoulders back. Set your fingertips on the floor where your feet are. Wrap your elbows in. Press your knees down. Tuck your pelvis under. Use your glutes as you lift the hips. Lift the sternum. Lift the gaze up to the ceiling. And sitting back down on the heels. Take your hands where your knees are. So you're going to come forwards. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees up and try to bring your heels as close to the floor as you can. Then you're going to rock forwards. Tap your knees down. Pick the knees up and bring your heels down. So you're going to rock forwards and backwards, getting into the feet. You can do this with the hands or without. And then next time that you rock forwards, set your knees down. Come back up onto the hands. Untuck your toes and just tap your feet out. Bring your right knee to the midline and take your left leg forwards. We're going to take your weight with you and create a kickstand. Turn your right toes to the left side so your hips are opening to the right side of your mat and bring yourself up. So the weight can either be down in front of you or you can set the weight just above your knee, whichever one's more comfortable for you. But you're going to try to keep your left heel on the ground. So you're going to lunge into the left leg and let your knee go way past the toes. And then bring yourself back up through center. So you're lunging into the leg, keep the heel down, and bring yourself up. Making sure that knee's not collapsing in, pressing down to the outer edge of your left foot. One more. And then bring yourself up. Bring the weight into your left hand and take your left arm up to the ceiling. So keep your arm nice and straight. Start to rotate your chest towards your left knee. Hinge from the hips, send your butt back towards your right heel, looking up to the weight, lower down to your right forearm. So making sure your left shoulder is not rolling into your ear. Press the forearm into the floor to help bring you up and bring your hips forwards. So you're going to do that again. Send your butt back. Turn your chest to face your left knee. Bring your right hand or forearm to the floor, and then bring yourself back up. 2 more. So send your butt back, lower down, tap, bring yourself up. Last one. And then bring yourself up. So stay facing the direction you're in, lower the weight down, straighten your left leg, turn your toes to face forwards, and set your hands down on the floor. Keeping your left foot grounded, just doing some adductor rocks. You're gonna rock forwards and backwards. You can stay in this variation, or when you rock back, you can spin your left toes up and then rock forwards and ground the foot. 2 more. And then bring yourself up. Set your left knee down on the floor. Take your right arm up to the ceiling. Open your chest to the right. Try to pull your right hand away from the left hand. Throw the needle. Take your right arm underneath, head and shoulder down on the floor. Lean into your right shoulder on your left fingertips. Pull the left shoulder away from the ear. Even weight through your knees so you're not rocking everything to the right. Take your right arm back up to the ceiling. And set your right hand down. So stay facing this direction. Lift your right foot up. And so now you're turning your toes to face the back of the mat. And this is where you grab your weight again. So the weight down in front of you or place it just above your knee. Right heel stays grounded. Lunge into the right leg. And you're trying to get your knee past the toes. And then bring yourself back up. Again, lunge in the leg. This is a really great one for ankle mobility, hip mobility. One more. Take the weight into your right arm or right hand. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling. We'll do those windmills. So turn your chest to face the right knee, send your butt back, left hand down, or take your forearm all the way down, taking your gaze up to the weight, and then bring yourself back up. Lower down, tap. Bring yourself up. 2 more. Making sure your right arm stays nice and straight. Last one. Bring yourself up to center and set the weight down. Hands down to the mat. Straighten your right leg. Turn your toes face forwards, keeping the foot planted as you rock your hips forwards and backwards. And either keep the foot planted or when you rock back, spin your toes up, and then rock forwards and ground the foot. One more. Setting your right knee down on the floor. Take your left arm up to the ceiling. Open your chest to the left. Thread the needle, arm underneath, head and shoulder down on the floor. Lean into your left shoulder. You're on your right fingertips. Push the fingertips into the floor to pull your right shoulder away from the ear. Leaning a little bit more into the left shoulder. Take your left arm back up to the ceiling. And set your hand down. And tuck your toes under so your hands and feet will be off your yoga mat. Lift your hips up and back and just pedal at your legs. So you're in a very wide down dog. Bring your feet back onto the mat for a wide-legged forward fold. Bend your knees a lot, let the head hang. You can add a little sway. And keeping your knees bent, take your time as you roll yourself up to stand. So we'll stay facing this direction. Just grab your weight and place the weight behind the back of the head. So you're still in a wide stance. Turn your toes directly forwards. Try not to have your toes turned out. Bring your ribs in. Send the crown of the head up to the ceiling as you take an inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to hinge from the hips. Think long through your spine. Send the butt back, crown of the head forwards. Driving down through your feet to bring yourself back up. So you'll do that again. Hinge from the hips. Send it back. I'll turn this way so you can see as well. Bring it up. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And next time you come up, just set the weight off to the side and make your way to the front of your mat. So feet about hip distance apart. Take a nice big breath in, reach your arms up to the ceiling on your inhale. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold forwards over top of the legs. Take a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. On the exhale, set the hands down, step back, downward dog. Pedal your legs in down dog. Bring your big toes to touch. Take your right leg up to the ceiling, bend your knee, heel to glute. Open your hips to the right without pushing your chest to the right. Stepping your right foot forwards between the hands. Lower your back knee to the floor. So you can pad it up by folding your mat over, set your knee down. Low lunge, bring your arms forwards and up. Take a nice big inhale, think crown of the head to the ceiling. On the exhale, twist your chest to the right. Take your left arm forwards, right arm back. Pull your hands away from one another. Turn your chest back to the front, reach both arms up to the ceiling. Set your hands down to frame your front foot. Half split, hips go back. Dig the heel down as you pull your toes back towards your face. Bend into the front leg, bring your hips forwards and down. Half split, send your hips back. Again, bend into the front leg, bring your chest through. Half split. This time, bend into the front leg, tuck your left toes under, pick up your back knee, easy twist, take your right arm up to the ceiling. Set your right hand down, push off your back foot, step forward to the front of the mat, feet hip distance apart. Halfway lift, lengthen. Fold down into the legs, take a step back with the right leg. Pad up the right knee if you need, set the knee down. Low lunge, bring your arms forwards and up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist to the left. Take your right arm forwards, left arm back. Think front ribs in and down. So you're using your core to rotate. Back through center, take your arms up to the ceiling. Hands down to the floor. Half split, hips back. And when you go into your half split, you want to think about your pelvis being over top of the knee rather than your butt going back to the heel. And then bend into the front leg, bring your hips forwards and down. Half split, rock it back. One more time, bend into the front leg. Half split. Easy twist. Bend into the left leg. Tuck your right toes under. Pick up the knee. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling. Set your hand down on the floor. This time, step back, downward dog. Roll forwards. Bring your shoulders over top of the wrists. Make your way into a plank. Set your knees down. Bend the elbows nice and slow. Lower yourself all the way to the floor. Untuck the toes. Tops of feet press on the mat. Walk your hands back slightly. Elbows hug in, hands hovering over top of the mat. Baby cobra, bring your chest forwards and up. Press your feet down, use your glutes, lower back down. 2 more like that. Baby cobra, hands hover, elbows in, chest forwards and up. Lower down. 1 more time. Baby cobra. And lower down. Child's pose, send your hips back. Folding forwards over top of the legs. Let the head relax. And nice and slow, rolling up to the spine, sitting on the heels. And turn to face the right side of your mat. So you're going to lower down to your bum. Separate your feet wider than hip distance. Set the hands behind you. Just windshield wiper with the legs. So just let your knees rock side to side. Next time, your left leg is in front. So you're going to be in 90-90, right knee in line with the hip. fold forwards over top of your front leg. Think about pressing your left knee down onto the floor. And you can either have your chest center, you can also turn your chest more to the foot or your knee. Bring yourself up. And we'll find the stretch on the other side. So bring your knees to center, returning to face your right leg, fold forwards. You also have the block there. You can use the block underneath your right glute to elevate the hip a bit if you need. And lift yourself up. And now turn to face the long edge. Separate your feet. Not as wide, so if you're super flexible, you don't need to go into a wide-legged split. Just about middle way. Like think of V shape with your legs. Flex your feet, dig your heels down on the floor, toes up to the ceiling, and take your hands behind the back of the head. So envision the weight is there. You can also most definitely do this with a weight like we did standing. Inhale, lift the crown of the head up, and then as you exhale, you're just going to fold forwards towards the floor. Keep the toes up. Try not to let the toes roll in, and then bring yourself back up. So we'll do that 2 more times. So you can either keep the weight, or you can just have your hands in front of the chest. Last time. And bring yourself up. So if you have a weight, just set it off to the side. Shake out your legs. Thank you so much for choosing to move with me. Hope to see you again real soon.